You're watching West Wednesday 604, Justice for Tyrone West and Justice for All Victims of Police Brutality. Tawanda, it's all you.
Thank you so much. So tonight, guys, you do not want to miss this. It's a very special episode. I have a beautiful life coach on who's not just a life coach, but she's a dear friend of mine. So I want you guys to tune into the video that we watch every time that we're online. I'm going to play the video, and then we're going to come back with Joanne. So, and that's her name. She prefers to be called Joanne. So we're going to come back, and when I say this queen is very strong, very empowering, I just can't wait to introduce you guys to her. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back momentarily. Mic check.
Mic check.
Can't stop, won't stop, till killer cops are in cell blocks. Can't stop.
The following video portrays an incident of assault and violence at the hands of police. Viewer discretion is advised.
I suggest you back the fuck up. No.
This is Baltimore City Police Officer Jorge Bernardes Ruiz. In a video shot in 2016, Ruiz is seen with his knee on the back of an unknown man with a gun pointed at the man's head. His message was a clear one. Concerned onlookers, adhere to my dictates or else. Here, we can hear Ruiz saying to Baltimore residents,
I suggest you back the fuck up.
It is documented that Baltimore police officer Jorge Bernardes Ruiz is a repeat violent offender, even without access to all complaints against Ruiz, undisclosed by BPD Internal Affairs records. 6 cases involving Ruiz are known. This video will briefly highlight 6 total cases beginning in July of 2013. Case 1, Abdul Salam, July 1st, 2013. Here, Salam is seen victoriously smiling in celebration after the jury found Ruiz and 2 other cops liable for brutality against him. However, because the trial was civil, not criminal, Ruiz was not fired and he did not go to jail.
Police profiled me. They followed me in the back of my house, harassing me. Police proceeded to violently and hostilely approach my van with me and my son in it. As I announced, this was my home, guns drawn. Once they reached my vehicle, they violently pulled me out, ramshacked my vehicle with my 3-year-old son strapped in his car seat, threw me against the gate, slammed me repeatedly. Picked me up by my feet, and while I'm upside down, they proceeded to drop me on my head, hog-tie me, and immediately when I fell on my head, Ruiz, in a wrestling type of action, and kind of hit his knee against my neck. I was arrested. I had no idea what I was being arrested for. My son is scarred to this day. He remembers the incident as it happened yesterday. When he talks about it, he always refers to Daddy being on the floor with police yesterday.
Case 2, Darrell Harris, profiled, as seen in this video, July 17th, 2013.
Yeah, Sid, what's wrong with it? Improper way with it. There's no such thing as an improper way.
You gonna tell me my job, bro?
I know the law.
Are you gonna tell me the law?
I know the law.
You gonna tell me the law?
I know the law. What's the problem? You giving me a ticket? You need my license registration?
Yeah, let me get it up.
Profile, y'all use the seatbelt as a reason. Profile.
Sir, do me a favor, take out your keys.
Dad, you can record for what? Nah. I don't feel safe right now. Do you want me to step out the car? Do you want me to step out the car? I'll step out the car. Call the police, man. What do you call a supervisor? I'm about to do shit. This is getting uploaded to the internet right now. Yeah?
And we are 2 law-abiding citizens that we are getting targeted, and I don't know why.
Just 24 hours later, Bernardes Ruiz played a leading role in the police killing of unarmed Tyrone West. Case number 3, the murder of Tyrone West, July 18th, 2013.
My brother Tyrone West was brutally murdered on July the 18th, 2013.
In both of these cases, when you look at the pleadings and the harsh language of these officers that have been quoted to me by reliable witnesses, the N-word.
And Killer Ruiz and Killer Chapman and the rest of those 11 and 15 killers, including David Lewis, took something from my family that they could never give us again. And that was my brother Tyrone West, one unarmed man who was brutally murdered, beat to death in broad daylight.
Tawanda, you're on.
We're back.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
So again, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. And like my beautiful queen said, this is West Wednesday 604. And tonight we have a special guest, a dear friend of mine, Joanne, who's very inspiring, very strong, beautiful and everything. And you know, she taught me lots of things like how to self-care. And that's what you need being in such a, this is a club no one signs up to deal with police brutality and just different type of crisis or anything that life throws at you. You just have to swallow it up and kind of grab it. But just watching her and knowing her as long as I have been knowing her and seeing how strong she is, how she fight and just does so much, it's very inspiring and very uplifting. And with everything that's happening now, I felt compelled to really bring her on here tonight to share with you guys. She's a life coach and she does just so much. She wears so many hats. So I just want to tell you that, first of all, she wears so many hats. So no further ado, our beautiful queen, Joanne. Mic check.
Mic check.
Thank you, Tawanda, and I commend you and your team for doing the wonderful work that y'all doing, that y'all standing up for police brutality. I just want to come on here and just bring a little lightness to the program this evening. Like Tawanda say, I'm a life coach. I'm also a spiritual life coach. And I'm just going to read my notes. So if you see my eyes going in other directions, I'm reading my notes. So I'm a dedicated life coach, passionate about helping individuals overcoming their core beliefs and unlocking full potentials through providing techniques like meditation, mirror work, mindfulness, and affirmations. I guide my clients to reprogram their subconscious mind to achieve lasting transformation and inner peace. So I'm going to tell you more a little bit about myself. In 2017, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. I was divorced twice. I had 2 nervous breakdowns. I was in Shepherd Pratt. So during those experiences, I had a lot of downsides, a lot of fears, insecurity, people pleasing. And so my last breakdown, my trauma, I was in Shepherd Pratt. So I decided to do some healing work. So I went within myself. So I went into solitude. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Oh, I went 2024, I went into solitude. So I went into that. So I did a lot of self-development, a lot of self-healing. And then, like I said, I did working with my subconscious mind, because a lot of things that's in our subconscious mind that we've been pre-programmed, the negative thoughts by schools, politics, religion, our caregivers, and we took those false beliefs. So by me having those experiences and my life experiences being a life coach, I began to master those different topics into, like I said, affirmation, mirror work, and in the subconscious mind. So what I have this evening, I want to talk to you guys in reference to the subconscious mind by deconstructing the subconscious mind, meaning really taking all those negative thoughts that we've been taught to believe, which they were false. And also, once we deconstruct those subconscious mind, we reconstruct it with positive thoughts. So what I always tell my clients to do, first of all, I ask them to take a deep breath and to examine the false belief that they were told, and not to be ashamed of those false beliefs, because when we come up with these false beliefs, we feel fear, we feel insecure, we feel less than. But I also tell my clients that these are life experiences. They are not your identity. They are experiences. So once you know that what you're dealing with, for example, I was dealing with people please. I used to be a people please all the time. So once I start identifying those things, I began to work with them. And I always tell myself and my clients that when you become vulnerable, it's not an insecurity, it's a strength. So once you reveal those strengths, those insecurities, you can release them. They have no more power over you. And also we have to have compassion with ourselves through this journey, because everybody, like the gentleman said, we have many stories, not just one story, but we have many stories. But once you start getting to know yourself and start doing self-development for yourself, it's very rewarding. And it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work because you've been programmed to think something like that for 10, 20 years. And all of a sudden you be like, I don't want to think like this no more. So that's where we come in and get help from other people to help us to overcome those negative thoughts, and to become, because it's our birthright to be authentic, to be powerful, to know our self-worth. So I just like to let people know that they can overcome anything: fear, doubt, insecurity. And then when I go into the mental health community, I learned that a lot of the clients there, they do the same thing over and over again. They go to the programs, they tell them that they are addicted to drugs. It's in a subtle way, it's very negative. So when I come in and share with them that they more than what they've been told, they are excited and they want to know more how they can overcome the program of beliefs. And also with my mirror work, I give them a mirror and I encourage them to say something positive to themselves. And it's a repetition. You got to say these things over and over again. Just like you pre-program yourself with the negative thoughts, you can pre-program yourself with positive thoughts. And then I encourage them to do affirmations like, I am free, I am strong, I am positive. And at first when you do them, you be like, yeah, right, I don't feel like that. But once you do it on a consistent basis and you be serious, you have to be, when you do a transformation over your life, it's very hard at first, because you will wake up in the morning, do the same thing over again, get up, go to work, brush your teeth. You're already programmed to think like that. But when you decide to change the way you think, that's where the challenge comes in at. You be like, why is this not working? What is going on? But that's where the conscious and the subconscious become battling with you. However, you got to tell yourself that you are not going to think those old thoughts no more. They have no more control or no more power over me anymore. So, and also I teach about mindfulness, being mindful what you're talking to yourself, self-talk, because we do a lot of self-talk and we don't realize the things that we're saying to ourselves during the course of the day. Statistics says we have 6,000 thoughts a day. That's a lot of thoughts. But I'm not saying we're going to catch every thought, because there's a lot of thoughts. But when you're doing something during the course of the day, take 5 minutes or 2 minutes and say, okay, what am I processing right now at this moment? Because you never know what's going to happen moment to moment. You at work, somebody can trigger you, somebody can upset you, and you automatically react to it. We become on autopilot and we act towards what people say to us. So I always encourage myself and clients, be mindful of self-talk, because we do a lot of negative self-talk to ourselves. And then we wonder why our lives are the way they are, because of what we say to ourselves. And words are powerful. Words are frequency, words of energy. So whatever you say to yourself, it creates your reality. So I just like to ask anybody have any questions or they want to engage in the conversation right now.
Yes, we have plenty of questions. So Rachel, do you mind reading them off? Mic check.
Nope, not at all. Mic check. So for our first comment, we've got Bill Blanche, mic check. Very happy to be here for the West Wednesday live stream. Bruce Emmerling says, mic check, and also good evening all. AC Britt says, mic check. Judah Adashi says, mic check. And Linda Green says, interesting discussion. AC Britt says, this sounds a little like the EMDR therapy I've been doing with my therapist. Bruce says, interesting. And AC Britt continues to say, healing journeys are the most difficult journeys you can take. And it's lifelong. The journey to growth is the journey that never ends. And those are the comments that we have so far.
And the young lady is right when she said it's a life journey, but at the same time, it's very rewarding when you don't give up on yourself. And you have to, it's an everyday thing, you know. As more as I master it, it becomes fun to me because I know my triggers. I know what's going on within me. You know, once upon a time, I didn't know me. I didn't know my identity. I allowed the outside world to give me an identity and to validate who I am. But when I found out that I don't have to subscribe to what people say that I have to be, or I should do it this way, I should do this way. And I've learned that this is my life, you know, and I want to have a peaceful and joyful life. I want to choose what I want to choose. I don't want people to dictate to me anytime to say that this would make you happy. You have to find out what makes you happy. You know, we go out, we go shopping, we buy houses, we buy this, we buy this. But if our inner person is not happy and full of joy, those things don't mean anything. They are just temporary things to distract us from our true self. And that's why I encourage my clients to sit down and reflect. Know who you are. You know, just come in the house and be quiet. A lot of people don't like to be quiet with themselves because a lot of things show up and they don't like the discomfort. But it's going to come, it's going to pop up whether you like it or not. And if you don't deal with it, it's going to keep popping up. And a lot of people, when they struggle with themselves, they do drugs, they do sex, they gamble, they do everything they can to distract themselves from themselves. So when you do those things and stuff like that, you're going to continue to be broken until you go to somebody and say, I need help. And that's when the help began. So like I said, if anybody want to work with me, Tawanda, you know, you can talk to Tawanda. Always do once a week. I do volunteer once a week. So anybody wants to speak to me, I give a free session. And then we can talk about, you know, whether they challenge, whether they struggles. And on a spiritual level, I learned about a lot of things about myself as a spiritual person, because whether we realize or not, we're spiritual beings having this human experience. And for me personally, I didn't tap into my divine self. You know, I was so much stuck in religion and performance and things. And I'm not knocking nobody's religious. Please believe that's not I'm just telling you my journey, my personal experience, and how I overcame that, right? So we just need to learn how to take one day at a time and have compassion for ourselves and to love ourselves and know that we are unique in our own way. And I thank Tawanda and I thank everybody that are listening this evening for hearing me to express myself.
No, I appreciate you. Thank you for taking the time coming out and sharing with us. Definitely appreciate it. You know, and and I just wanted to touch on like some of the things, your points that you were making about, you know, the mindfulness and just everything, and like reprogramming yourself. And I'm even kind of working on that myself, because like my body been feeling sick because I feel like I'm about to get a cold because my daughter had a cold and things of that nature. So all day today, I kept telling myself, oh, I feel good, you know?
Right.
How we starting to feel or whatever, like I feel good. Like the medication that I took is working. God is good. And I just kept on reassuring myself. And even every time I was like starting to feel weak and things like that, I'm like, you know, God got me. And I just kind of talked myself through it. And I had another serious situation that I dealt with you know, this week, and you know, it was kind of triggering, but I had to, even in that, step outside of my body and just like, it was like an out of body experience, and I had to just remind myself that I'm going to be all right. I'm going to, you know, God got me through this far, and I'm going to make it to go even further. So it's just like a lot, and just like you said, just telling yourself, because like a lot of time, and it's so sad that, you know, people don't tell people how wonderful and great they are. They wait, unfortunately, until sad things happen, and then they want to talk about how great the person was or whatever. Lots of times they're not giving people flowers now. I like to give people flowers now, and that's why I love being a teacher, working with small children, you know, because you know, every day they bring me joy. I bring them joy, and like just having fun with them. And that was another thing. I'm here for them, and you know, that type of thing, and just like stepping aside and even like dealing with this police brutality stuff, and just being an advocate of fighting, and not like being against police in general, but just against people that abuse their badge and that's killing people. That's what I'm totally against. And speaking of which, I'm just sending prayers and love to Donna Rochester's family. Miss Danielle, they're out there now, one of their hardest times, because it's the commemoration where Donna Rochester should be here with the family, but instead now the family is at Northeast Police District. They're doing a caravan and whatnot. My heart goes out because I know how heartbreaking and devastating it is when you come up on that day when your loved one was snatched away from you. It's like no matter how much people try to comfort you with words, with beautiful flowers, and just with kindness, that definitely helps. Don't get me wrong, it definitely helps, but it's still a hurting feeling that no one won't, you know until, unfortunately, God forbid, they join up and sign up for a club that they didn't ask for. It's just really sad, but my heart really goes out, and it's just sad. Like, we have all these politicians, they use our pain for their game. You know, they put us in books, they do all this stuff, but when it's time to take that stance and be there and change these damn laws that are pretty much saying we got the green light to get murdered, to murder people. And, you know, the police are above the law. They don't have to follow the law. They are above the law. And this ugly seed just follows you no matter where you're going. It's just sad. Like, you can't even call 911 if you are a freedom fighter advocating every day, daily, and you're thinking, okay, I'm making this call, I'm at work, they're not going to know it's me. And then they throw an ugly little slur and they rear their ugly head and say, oh, you need us today, type of thing. And it's just sad and disgusting, but this is the reality that we have to experience every day. And that's why I thought it was very important, Joanne, to have you on here, you know, expressing how to take care of yourself and all that stuff. Because guess what? If we don't take care of ourselves, no one is going to save us. Like, I'm sorry, and it sounds so heartbreaking, but no one is going to do the stuff that we can do for ourselves. Like, if we are having all these bad thoughts in our mind and we're not around the right people, that negativity can easily take over you. It's easy. And there's a lot of spiritual stuff happening right now that no matter how good you feel, it's always this obstacle. And I find it every single day. I'm like, damn, can I just have one day where when I wake up in the morning to be the best Tawanda that I can be, to be the best teacher in the world to my students, to be the best mommy that I can be when I come home, and you know, all this, be the best friend, whatever, all that, right? But then there's always something to distract you. It's always something, maybe, you know, it could be something, a financial burden that you're like, oh my God, how am I going to get out of this? Or it could be something with one of your loved ones, they could be hurting or sick. It's just like, why can't it just go smooth? But like you said, Queen, I like when you said it starts with your mind. So when you're going through that, a mind to me is a terrible thing to waste. And I love what Bill has said. He had said something that literally stuck with me. He said, you know what, Tawana, I don't know how he said it. I'm not going to try to quote him because I always mess up everything when it's trying to with names and trying to repeat stuff. But what I liked about what he said was, when in any problem, if you learn how to, once you figure out how to solve it, you don't have that problem no more. And that's what keep me grounded. I'm like, okay, I got this problem right here. But once I figure out how to solve it, it's on and popping. This problem can no longer hinder me or hold me down. So that's what I like about it. And that has stuck and rung in my head since he told me that. So every time I go through something like, oh my God, and all I be like, you know what? As long as I figure it out, this is nothing to me. You know what I mean? So just with like people that like say and do things is like really like good to like connect with those people. So when you go through your personal struggles that no one knows about, like people can wear the biggest smile, be the strongest person, but you don't know they could be crying in the inside. Mm-hmm. They messed up, and then it's sad. Then when you work around negativity or people don't care about you like how you care about them, it's just like, wow, it's almost a smack in the face. And this is what we're going through. Like, you can't even blow the horn at nobody nowadays. Like, to let them through traffic, they ready to fight you, or they blowing the horn at you in a mean way. It's just so much stuff happening out here. We just got to keep in mind to always be humble and always just try to give things our best, So I see we have a lot of more questions and comments. Rachel, do you mind reading it, or did I know is Kalia in queue yet? But I know she's probably still out with Donna Rochester's family.
Kalia is not here yet. Mic check. But we have a couple more comments from AC Britt. So the first, your mind is the primary driver of your life. The universe doesn't distinguish between words being positive or negative. Whatever you speak into existence is what your life will be. And then next, yes, Westmore changed the jurisdiction of Donnell Rochester's case so his mom can have some accountability. The AG needs to start prosecuting these cases. And those are the only two. And also thanks, Miss Joanne. I apologize. Yeah. Those are the three comments.
And I also like to interject that, like Tawanda was saying, we got to be mindful of our emotions, and then also without the struggles that we go through of our fears, our insecurities, our doubts and things like that, we need to integrate them and have compassion with those things. We tend to suppress negative feelings and tell ourselves, I don't want to feel that because it doesn't feel good. But once you, for example, you're an overeater, you could acknowledge that I am an overeater instead of saying, well, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have ate this, and I'm going to eat at 12 o'clock. No, just say that I love to eat and I'm going to work on it. If you eat a cheeseburger, you don't have to suppress it or justify it. Just acknowledge it. And once you acknowledge it with compassion, then the change will start. So I just want to tell everybody, don't be afraid of your struggles or what you're struggling with. Don't look at it as a shame or anything like that. It's just telling you, it's just alerting you to saying, hey, do you want to change this? If you feel any discomfort in your body is telling you something. So we need to learn how to recognize what our body is telling us. A lot of time we reject those feelings because we don't know what to do with them. We don't know how to process them. So we find ways to temporarily subdue them or suppress them. So just be mindful when you feel in these thoughts. Don't be ashamed. Don't feel guilty. It's part of life. It's a part of the life experience. And once you master it, it's so rewarding, and I encourage myself and other people, hug yourself in the morning. Tell yourself that I love you in the morning. We wake up in the morning, like I said earlier, we did the same thing over and over again. And we need to know gratitude. be grateful that I can hear, that I can talk, that I can see, that I can walk, that I have a roof over top of my head. We always gravitating to what we don't have. We gravitate to negative thoughts and negative behavior because it's been so drilled into our subconscious mind. Some of us don't know how to have a upbuilding conversation, like it saddens me sometimes that we just text a lot. We're not doing anything in person anymore, and it's done by purpose. And a lot of us don't realize it. So when I had my doctor's appointment, I always say, can I be in person? Because we people of we love to touch and feel. We love that, and the system, if we're not careful, they'll take that away from us, and we become lazy. We become, let me just text this person and just say this. But when you're in person, it's more intimate, it's more fun. And the internet and the TV can be for the good or the bad. It depends on what you allow it to control you, because a lot of us stroll, and it's addictive. It's addictive. I had to get off of it. I time myself. I said I'm gonna do 30 minutes on Instagram or whatever I'm doing, but I always make a conscious decision. I wanted to be upbuilding. I wanted to be positive. I don't want to be looking at all the violence and killing and things like that, because it goes into your subconscious mind. I can't emphasize enough how things be programming your mind, and you're not even aware of it. You're not aware of it. You're just not aware, and you wonder why you act the way you act, because it's been in programming your mind. Like the music that we listen to is a program, but we don't look at it. We're like, oh, that's nothing, this stuff. And then you be speeding down the street, you get angry at this person, and so in this day and time, we just gotta be mindful of how we treating ourselves and treating others.
Miss Joanne, can I ask a question?
Sure.
So you've talked a lot about that we need to be mindful. Are there any mindfulness practices? You talked about breathing, I think, a little bit, and noticing things, but are there specific mindfulness practices that you recommend to folks?
Yes. Mindful techniques is deep breathing. Mindfulness is meditation. Mindfulness is self-awareness. Mindfulness is exercise. And just when I speak about mindfulness, it's bringing awareness to you. It's bringing awareness to you. Like you can be mindful. You can be walking down the street, just taking a casual walk, feeling the breeze, feeling the ground when you're walking on the ground, looking at the car, to be centered, to be present, be in the present moment. And it's very rewarding when you're in the present moment, because you're not worrying about the past, or you're not worrying about the future. You're just, because right now, where we are right now, that's all we have is this moment right here. So nobody's not taking anything from us. We're not being put out of our house. Nobody's yelling. We just in this present moment. And it's very rewarding to be right here, right now. So those, like you said, some mindfulness things that, you can do, if that makes sense.
Yep. Thank you.
You're welcome. And I also like to say that it's a process, and I'm learning not to take life for granted. I'm 64 years old now, 63, and I just want to live a fulfilled, joyful life, and I want to help whomsoever want to be helped, and it's very rewarding for me, because it's just not for me. It's not just for them, but it's for me too. So we all collectively, but we might be individual, but we all collectively, we can all share something. You might be a cook, you might be a plumber, you might be a housekeeper, but there's no little I or big I. We all connected as one. Once we get our ego out the way, that's another thing I like to talk about. The ego will make you feel superior. You have to, the ego has its place, but the ego also can be very, it can be a bully. It can be a bully. You know, if you get in a confrontation with somebody, you be saying who they think they is. They don't tell me what to do, you know. But if you just tell the ego, look, I'm not going to feed into that. You know, I know who I am. You know, I don't have to comply to that person, et cetera, et cetera. Of course, you have to defend yourself. Don't get me wrong. You have to defend yourself. But at the same time, you have to balance the ego.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. And
Joanne,
then when I suggest when people get up in the morning, really, really be conscious and be mindful to say something nice to yourself in the morning. Just don't jump out the bed and say, "Oh my gosh, I got to brush my teeth." And we give all attention to the external, but we don't give the attention to ourselves. You know, we don't think that we're worthy, but you are worthy. You are enough, and you can feel good about yourself if you choose to, because everything is a choice. It's your choice. My clients would tell me, "Well, Miss Joe, I was raped. I was, you know, somebody did this to my child, this and that." And I have empathy and I understand, and I believe that we all have pain. Pain is excruciating. Pain is discomfort. Pain comes with anger, resentment, bitterness, unforgiveness. That's a human thing, which is normal. Don't think that it's not normal. But at the same time, you get to the point, once you have those feelings, you say to yourself, okay, what can I do to make myself feel better? You know, how can I stop being a victim and keep on, you know, killing myself, you know, and it's, you know, it's time for us to say, okay, what can I do to make myself better or make the world better? Yeah.
I was going to comment on one of your opening remarks was to say that without realizing it, internally we all have these false beliefs about ourselves, and we're programmed to think that way. So I used to be a high school English teacher, and one of the books that the students and I would read and discuss was The Bluest Eye. And one of the key ideas in that book is a similar concept. It's called the internalization of oppression, where there's negative ideas about us, and without realizing it, we accept them at a subconscious level. So one of the discussions we would have about that point is, what do you really mean if you say to somebody, "That's ghetto"? On the surface level, it means you think they did something that was undignified.
Mm-hmm.
But at a deeper level, it implies that whoever says that expression accepts a negative view of people who live in ghettos. And that's absolutely wrong. It's incorrect. But it's as you pointed out, it's a false belief that has been put in people's minds. And so I think that was really a profound way that you opened up this evening. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. Yeah, because we have a lot of false beliefs that we've been told all our life. Because doing my research between the ages of 1 to 7, we already are been pre-programmed or have a concept the way that we should think and operate until we become adulthood and we decide that something is not right. I want to choose to think or feel differently. You know, that's why it's very important when you have children that you instill positive information in them, because once they walk out the door, they are bombarded with so much information. So we need to continue to ground them just as much they pull out the negative when they step out the door. When they come back in the door, we got to reinforce that positive information in it. You know, unfortunately, the parents are so busy, you know, working and trying to get food on the table and et cetera, et cetera. So people like myself and you guys, we are like angels. You know, we are like star seeds. We can help them with the challenges and stuff like that, because a closed fist cannot receive anything. So you have to open up your hand, you have to open up your heart to help those in needs, and not to be looking for what can I get out of it.
True.
Mm-hmm. That's why I love doing what I'm doing, because it's very rewarding. It's very rewarding to help people to look at themselves in a totally different way, because the way the system is going today is basically put fear in people. You know, the news, you know, what you look at, you know, is this fear, and that's another limited belief. That's false. You know, is like I said, it's purpose driven. Always be mindful when you're looking at something. Question it. Question everything. Why are they doing this? What are their motives behind it? Just don't, you know. For me, when I look at the news, I take a peek at it. I don't look at it like I don't look at it every day. My sister, she'll come and say, "You saw this?" I'll say, "Mm." And she'll say, "You should look at the news." I say, you the news for me." So you just look at it with interest, and don't, because when the news come on, they'll say, "Okay, we're gonna put this on the news," and the people will elevate it. You hear what Donald Trump said? Oh, this is. So I look at it as you giving that negative energy power, because they feed off of energy. Negative energy feeds off your energy, actually. So I just want everybody to know that they are authentic in their own right. And it's your birthright to be happy. It's your birthright to be love, joy, peace, happiness, abundant. Is your birthright. And they're just so simple principles, but we make it so difficult. You know, we make it hard. You know, I gotta have this. Why she said this and this and that, and you know, it goes on and on and on. But if you look at it, it's you. You gotta look in the mirror and say, "It's me. It's me. It's not out there." So once you start, for me, my journey, once I found out it was me, I began to say, "Okay, Joe, you got to do the work. The work starts with you. Nobody can come and save you. I'm like, for real? Nope. Nobody can. You got to do it yourself." But when you see the results, you be like, yes. You have to be resilient, consistent, positive, compassionate, patience with yourself. We look at the beauty system, you know, or I want to look like this. I want to be shaped like this. I want to be and we doing everything external, but we're not doing anything internal. Once we do all that external work with ourselves, then what? We still not complete. We still want this, and so, but so it's in you. Everything you want is in you. Love is within you. Joy is within you. Peace is within you. Happiness is within you. So I can go on and on and on, and you just enjoy being in your own company. Enjoy being with yourself. I had a struggle. I was like, oh, I had nobody. I love being with myself. I call it dating yourself. I love dating myself, going out to places and stuff by myself. You go out by yourself? Sure, I do. Who's going to love me if I don't love myself? And I'm serious. You have to enjoy yourself, because if you don't, you will go crazy, because you find that you want something to feed you, to give you temporary pleasure. Once you go out and dancing and dress up and et cetera, don't get me wrong. I like nice things. I like going out, but everything is a balance. Everything is a balance. And it's called self-love, self-care. And it sounds like a cliche these days and times, but it's real. It's so real, you know. So, you know, it's this work. You have to do the work.
Amen. That's the truth. And Rachel, I see a lot more questions and comments came in. Do you mind reading them? Mic check.
Mic check. I guess Rachel's not hearing. I think I can do it if you like.
Sorry, I
Oh, you're
was
there.
cutting
Okay.
out for a second. Hey, so let me read a few more of these comments. So we have from Angela, I have to be intentional about my mental health as well as my physical health. From Hillary, we have, I love the message, you are worthy, you are enough. Being intentional about noticing the natural world around us, how we feel, what we see and hear in this moment, and our strengths can be helpful. AC Britt says, love you, Angela. And to you, LOL, Angela. So that's all we have for now.
Okay, cool. Yeah, this has been a real interesting conversation, and I definitely want to thank you, Joanne, like for just pouring in and sharing and just trusting us, and this has been wonderful. Yeah, so I wanted to ask you a question myself. So like, let's say for instance, if you had like a person that like wasn't like on social media that needed your services and things like that, because like a lot of people do like the social media things, but then you have like the old school people that don't. How can we actually get the word out, about what you're doing and to them?
Well, like you said, I'm from the old school. I do. I send out my flyers and I send out emails, and I just I get my clients through referrals. You know, so you can get in contact with me through Tawanda. Because I gave her my flyer, and I hope Tawanda can put it on her YouTube channel, and they could get in contact with me like that. And then I have classes in my apartment. Well, I live in a senior citizen building, and they have a recreation center where I can have groups in there. So I do groups in there sometimes. So yeah, so you can just contact Tawanda, and if also that, like I said, I need mentors too. I need to be structured. I'm very structured, but I like to be around other people, other like-minded people. So I would like to come to some of you guys' groups as well, so I can learn to see what you guys are doing. Like I said, we all connected.
True.
Absolutely. Each one teaches one.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask, do anybody else on the panel want to ask or share anything with Joanne before I talk about our next week event? And I know we don't have a sad list tonight as far as the police brutality list, but I'm not sure about the community violence list. But I want to ask, do anybody want to actually add or say anything to Joanne right now? Mic check.
Mic check. Tawanda, we did add Joanne's flyer to the West Wednesday email for tonight. So anyone who is watching tonight, if you're on our email list, if you scroll to the bottom, you'll see Miss Joanne's flyer.
Great. Thank you so much.
Yeah. And then I also shared your flyer tonight with my 5,000 friends on Facebook when I was advertising tonight, this West Wednesday. So it's actually on there as well. So yeah. So it's definitely out there right now. So yeah.
Can you be so kind to put my bio up there as well, please?
Sure. Yeah, I will share that as well. Yeah, I will definitely share that as well. I will add that to my page. Been doing so much, like I said, I was kind of under the weather today. I kind of forgot that you sent me the bio, but I remember the flyer. I'm like, okay, I got the flyer to have all the information on there. How to reach you and stuff like that. But I will definitely add your bio as well.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. I have to go right now, but I love y'all and thank y'all so much for listening to me. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. I hope that, if you need me, look at my flyer, and I have an opening ear. And like I said, I give one free workshop once a week. So if anybody interested, look me up. Thank you. Have a fantastic night.
Thanks for being with us.
Yeah,
You're
thank you
welcome.
so much. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for sharing is care. We definitely appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Okay,
We
good
love
night.
you more. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Good night.
All right. Well, guys, y'all saw Miss Joanne, and she joined us, and yeah, that's sometimes we need that, And I'm just excited to let you guys know as well. Next week we will be in person, and we won't be outside because the weather is still like tripping. 1 minute it's cold, 1 minute is like feel okay, and that's why so many people are sick. We will be at Red Emma's next week. So and I want everybody to join us. They're going to be featuring a documentary, and I'm going to start after I get off. I'm going to share that flyer with you guys so that way you can share it and share it and share it. And we're going to be there. There was a documentary that I'll be featured in. When I went to New York City, we're going to be sharing that. We're going to also have a discussion about the documentary afterwards. I'm going to do, West Wednesday like right before, because we're not going to be able to take you guys through the whole complete showing of the movie because we don't have the copyrights and things of that nature. So, but yeah, I'm real excited about being in person next week. And yeah, so I just want, like I said, thank everybody that commented tonight, and thank you guys for your time. And again, I'm sending lots and lots of love to Donna Rochester's family, friends, loved ones, his mom in particular. It's just sad, like, that a mother has to bury their child that should be here, a young, healthy child, a young, healthy, beautiful child that wasn't doing absolutely nothing wrong. And keep in mind, the killer came from Northeast Police District. To me, they're the most relentless gang in the city. Like, we have all these other districts, but it's something about Northeast District that is real sick. And if you think about the GTF, task force, gang, whatever you want to call it, they were many people that came from that Pacific unit. Like, this is saying, like, I really think they need to shut Northeast Police District down. That's the home of the killers.
There you go.
They breathed out of killers. That's what I always call it, the home of the killers. And I was so mad because I was in the way of riding past there when I was coming home, rushing from work. I was in the midst of coming, and a police officer, sure enough, they said, "Oh no, we see Tawanda Ben. She ain't coming through here." He slammed, jumped. It was a truck in front of me. I'm like, okay, I'm going. And then he let the truck go, and he stopped me and directed me to go the other way because I wanted to toot my horn and I wanted to say some things. But yeah, and just a shout out to everybody, that went out there to support. And, and if you can, we just send prayers. Because sometimes, as much as we want to go out to these things, as much as I wanted to be there tonight, unfortunately, I had to work. But my beautiful sister, Dina, went out there and she spread the love and she shared the words and all that wonderful stuff. And plus, more of the West Coalition members went out there. Like Kalia, she's out there now. Dan was out there. Like, so just a big shout out to the West Coalition for literally always being there, showing up, showing out, and not just the West Coalition, anybody and everybody that shows up for Donna Rochester's family, as we should. It's just sad. Like, but the people that have the power that can actually do something is sitting back and doing absolutely nothing. And it's to the point, it's sickening to me. So I wanted to check in to see if we have a sad list, because if we do, for us, the community violence list, then I will be reading the non-discouragement from us. So, mic check. Do we have a sad list? Is Brian on here?
Hi, Tawanda. Brian said he couldn't be here tonight, but he explained that there are no new names on the violent deaths in the city, and that's good news. I hope it's not just a matter of the press not keeping up. I hope it's a reality that there haven't been any community killings lately. But anyway, we do not have a list tonight.
Okay, well, that's always good news. And You said we hope it's true. And I just want literally everybody to take care of themselves. Like, that was the whole purpose tonight. If you missed it, if you're just tuning in at the last second as we're about to close out, just take care of yourself. Like, take care of yourself. It's very important. No one's going to take care of us like we take care of ourselves. And guess what? If we don't take care of ourselves, we can't take care of anyone. And as much as I was like, literally, I was on the verge of calling out today. I felt home, but I said, let me get up. Let me drink something hot. I drank 2 hot drinks. And that kind of stimulated me. And I took some of TT medicine, and it gave me energy. But it's like as you get closer to the late night hour, then you start feeling weak again. That's the time like when you want to rest and relax, and that's when it hits you like, oh no, you're not going to relax. So, but I'm not even put that where we thinking. Let me put the good thoughts in my mind. I'm gonna have a restful, blessed night for the rest of the night. So yeah, but I just want, like I said, thank you to every last one of y'all. And just remember, live to love to live, and we will see you guys in person. I'm so excited, guys. We will see you guys 6:30 next West Wednesday at Red Emma, 6:30. And we're going to show you this. You have to come out and check this documentary out. Like, you have to. Like, just to come out, even if you can't stay the whole entire time, but definitely come out. We're going to be on the inside, and it's just, as times go on, we only got a few more weeks of old man winter is what I call it. Ran his ugly head, and I love all the seasons. To be blessed to me to have different seasons, because I wouldn't want to just be in Florida where you don't really, get to feel all the seasons, get the rain and all that stuff, get the beautiful sun and all that. But I love even though I don't like driving in the snow or anything, but just to actually see it, it's a beautiful thing for me to see. I don't like being in it. I dislike the snow, but just being able to embrace how it feels in the winter. And it makes you appreciate when it's spring. And then when it's summer, we complain because you're like, oh my goodness, it's so freaking hot on here. Come on, winter. So just to go through each of the seasons, I love that, So again, live to love to live. I love you all. Big shout out to our Queen Rachel. And then also my sister Angela's birthday is coming up, guys. Coming up this week. Yeah, I can't wait, to send her a birthday wish and a few bucks just to say we love you, my queen. So I hope that she has a beautiful, blessed birthday. I hope she turns up. So anybody that's like having their birthdays and all these birthdays that are coming up, and there's so many, oh my goodness, like after this month, like there's so many in March. Like I have like about 20 family members birthday at the beginning of March. It's like, oh my goodness, I don't want to confuse it. But again, live to love to live. And remember, celebrate everything. Like every moment you get that's a happy, joyful moment, make that a time to celebrate. Embrace it. Make good memories. Take many pictures, because guess what? When it's all said and done, that is that stuff that keeps on going and tripling down. And last but not least, I had read my friends in my class a story, and it was called Take a Bite Out of Life, and it was really intriguing. It was about a little puppy that was trying to find himself, and literally he was looking at his family book, and he was seeing all the great talents that they had. Like his grandma, she could dance. She was a belly dancer, and his grandfather could ski, and his auntie could read a book in the pitch black dark, and one of his little cousins had the skill of being blindfolded and painting, and everybody had all these skills, and then he didn't even realize the skill he had, and he found it. he took a bite out of life and he found that, you know what? I like to cook. Like, he was like, you know, because even when he thought that he couldn't do nothing, he realized, wait a minute, when I make my little waffles and cakes and pies, my family love it. So he found out that was his little goal, bite in life. So just take a bite out of life. Find what makes you happy. Do it. Fulfill it. Because guess what? We all have special talents and blessings inside of us. So again, live to love to live. I love you all, and I'm excited. We will see you next week. And this, unfortunately, the way we brought the podcast on, playing a video that I do not like seeing at all, because it's just a reminder that what happened to my brother, and not just my brother, but the other victims. And at the end of the day, those 17 killer cops are still working with their families, celebrating, enjoying life, or going through whatever they're going through with no type of accountability whatsoever. It's just sad and disgusting. But unfortunately, we have to close out with this video. But don't take it for granted. We're going to fight. I don't care if it take another 604 weeks on top of the 604 weeks. We're going to continue on standing here telling our truth week after week after week after week. Live to love to live. I love you all. We want killer cops and cell blocks. See you guys next West Wednesday, and stay tuned for the video. Mic check.
Mic check.
And Mr. West begging for his life, and Mr. Salam begging for his child to be excluded and comforted from what was taking place. Not for himself, but for his 3-year-old child.
Case number 4, Adina Britt and family, September 10th, 2015.
My name is Adina Britt, and I wanted to submit a 30-second testimonial that Jorge Omar Bernardez Ruiz is one of the 11 terrorists that came into my house performing a home invasion in September 2015, terrorizing my entire family and even holding my 12-year-old son at gunpoint. He needs to be stopped.
Case number 5, unidentified arrestee, assaulted in 2016.
I suggest you back the fuck up. No, why you
Again, this video did not surface until the summer of 2020. Case 6, Thomas McCullough, May 2016 and February 2017.
I heard my front door coming off the hinges, like it exploded.
Thomas McCullough says it happened twice. In May 2016 and February 2017, Baltimore City Police burst through his green front door and raided his Pimlico home.
They said, police. They come up, shotguns, guns.
He says officers ransacked the place, looking for drugs, money, and weapons. He took pictures of the damage he says they left behind.
Tell us where the drugs are, the scales, the guns, and the large amounts of money.
Nothing was found. Now he's suing police, claiming officers, including a former member of the gun trace task force, frightened him, his wife, and father-in-law when the officers conducted what his suit calls an illegal search of his home. The owner of the house tells 11 News after the second raid, he had to replace the front door. McCullough and his attorney say they want Baltimore police held accountable.
There is a colossal breach of trust.
And McCullough tells us following both raids, no one was arrested or charged.
This all begs the question, when will Baltimore City State's attorney see the prosecution of Bernardez Ruiz as warranted?
They were the stopping officers in these so-called jump-out cars, unmarked and so forth, that stopped both the West vehicle and the Salam vehicle without probable cause. And these officers are the ones that also were joined by others, but they are the ones who initiated the stops, pulled both men out of the vehicles, and commenced the vicious activity that was thrust upon them.
And the officer Ruiz that started this attack is still working and working with promotions. He is now sergeant. But the fact that this repeat violent offender had a history leading up to my brother. There was Darrell Harris, there was James Green, Joseph Green, Abdul Salam. No one family deserves to be brutally murdered or brutalized by this repeat violent offender, Ruiz. It is time we take action. The time is now.
Baltimore police officer Jorge Bernardes Ruiz is a repeat violent offender. Based on these accounts, in accordance with the law, we, the West Coalition, call for him to be fired, prosecuted, and incarcerated.
We're more than hashtags and body bags. We're more than being 6 feet in the dirt and pictures and buttons on t-shirts. Our lives matter.
For the safety of our city, the prevention of further harm, and the justice for these families, we see no other option.
And again, I'll say, the time is now.